So the second seeded Memphis Grizzlies got eliminated by the 7th seeded Lakers 4-2, and it seemed like everybody knew that the Grizzlies weren't going to get past LeBron and the Lakers, because even though they had a good regular season going 51-31, they didn't really have much playoff experience coming into it, and obviously that plays a huge factor come playoff time. And the only player that really had any playoff experience on the team was Steven Adams, but unfortunately he was injured, so he wasn't able to play in the playoffs. But even though this team got bounced in the first round, I think this team can definitely compete in the West for the next couple of years if they add a couple of pieces next to Morant, who is a future superstar, and Jaren Jackson Jr., who is going to continue to be an all-star type player. But the question is, who do the Memphis Grizzlies need to bring in? So what's good, everybody? I hope everybody is having a great day today, as we are back on 2K with another rebuild. And definitely excited to use the Memphis Grizzlies because we do have Morant, who is a 94 overall at the age of 23. We also have Jaren Jackson Jr., who just finished winning Defensive Player of the Year at the age of 23. He is an 88 overall, so definitely would like to have these two guys on the team, try to win a championship with these two guys. Desmond Bane, definitely a really good player. He could score the ball, he can shoot really efficient. Definitely would like to keep him around. Steven Adams, who is the oldest player on this team, I believe, at the age of 29. He really is the only one that has any playoff experience from those OKC days. But I honestly might look to trade him just because he can't really shoot. He can't score. He's not really a good playmaker. He really just rebounds and has paint defense. Other than that, I don't really see what he could do for this team. I mean, I would love to bring him off the bench, but we do have a lot of centers on this team, so I might look to try to move Steven Adams, see what I could get for him. But definitely need to bring in a lot of veterans on this team, or a good amount of veterans, just because I feel like this is what this team is missing. A young team doesn't really have too much like locker room guidance. They don't really have too many veterans in here. And I mean, you've seen it, right, with like a lot of the stuff that was happening during the season with Morant, with Dylan Brooks also getting in trouble with like the media, saying some stuff that he probably shouldn't have, because I feel like he just probably like pissed off LeBron in that playoff series. If you know, you know. But yeah, definitely would like to go ahead and try to add some veterans to this team, so I'm gonna go ahead probably do that in free agency. Tyus Jones isn't a bad backup point guard. Really liked him in that series. He's somebody that could come off, give you a good amount of points, give you some assists, not too bad on defense. Definitely would like to keep him around, and he is on a pretty good contract. Dylan Brooks, somebody that probably won't be back, honestly. I honestly would like to try to get an upgrade at the small forward position, just because in the playoffs, he was just missing so many shots. Like, he was literally just so bad. He couldn't shoot, couldn't defend, couldn't create his own shot, wasn't playing defense. He just wasn't really doing anything. He was non-existent in that game, or in that series against LeBron and the Lakers. So would like to go ahead and move on from him. And I heard in real life, he is actually not gonna be coming back to Memphis. They supposedly said under any circumstances he is not coming back. So I was like, damn, you really must have pissed off the Grizzlies organization that much for them to say we are not bringing you back under any circumstances. And it's funny because he just finished making an all defensive second team, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, probably would like to go ahead and move on from Dylan Brooks. Xavier Tillman, not a bad backup center. He was pretty efficient, pretty good. And by the way, the stats right here, these aren't accurate because 2K has yet to fix start today. I don't know why. I don't know. Every single year they always do that. It always messes up. But 2K gonna be 2K, and they ain't gonna fix nothing. But yeah, would definitely like to keep Xavier Tillman around. He isn't a bad backup big, so I would definitely like to keep him. Brandon Clark is another big, so I feel like one of these guys is going to get traded. I probably will go ahead and maybe try to keep Tillman over Clark. But then again, Clark is on a longer term deal, so we have some decisions to make with who our backup center is going to be. Aldama, not a bad player. I mean, right here he wasn't really good, only shooting 28% from the three-point line. But I think in real life he was a pretty efficient shooter, so we'll see. Luke Kennard, definitely would like to keep him around. Not on a bad contract. He is an elite shooter, so I would definitely like to have that off the bench. Roddy, I mean, probably would like to trade him, try to get some upgrades immediately. I don't really want to see him develop. John Conchar, I'm pretty sure I've said that name wrong. I don't really know who he is. I'm going to be honest. I watch a lot of basketball. I don't really know who this player is, but he did get a pretty good contract extension from the team, so I'm assuming he's good. But in 2K, he's only a 73 overall, so I'd probably like to go ahead and trade him, package him in a deal. Zaire Williams, I would like to see how he develops. Would like to give him some minutes next year. Jake Lavari, 21 years old, probably won't be playing for us. Lofton probably won't be playing for us. So definitely want to go ahead and I want to bring in a superstar to Memphis, but then I'm thinking about it, and like I said, I like to keep these realistic, so I don't really know how realistic bringing a superstar to Memphis would be. But you do have two main attractions, Ja Morant and Jared Jackson Jr., so you never know, people might want to play with these young guys. 23 years old, both of them definitely have a lot of potential, so we have to go ahead and make some moves because we can't get bounced in the first round next year, especially if you're a second seed winning over 50 games and you get bounced in the first round. Come on, something has to change. So definitely looking forward to going ahead and rebuilding this team. So now we got to go ahead and make some moves, and I will catch you guys when I do. Alright, so for the first trade that I'm making, I'm sending Jake Lavari and 2 second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for pick 17. Do they accept this trade? Yes, they do. Alright, so after the draft, we did go ahead and select Jet Howard and Max Lewis with our 17th and 27th overall pick. They are both 73 overalls, but I'm pretty sure they're going to go up because I am going to move both of them to the small forward position. So I'm pretty sure both of them will go up. Yeah, he goes up to a 75 and the other one goes up to a 75 as well. So not too bad. Alright, so I'm going to see if the Indiana Pacers will accept this trade. I'm sending them Steven Adams, a veteran, 2 young players in Zaire Williams and David Roddy, and a first round pick for Miles Turner, who I feel would make us instantly better. He could space the floor, he could rebound, he could block shots, be a good defender for us. So definitely would like to add him to the team. Do they accept this trade? And yes, they do. So welcome to the team, Miles Turner. Alright, so for the start of season number 1, this is what the rotation is looking like. We got Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Jet Howard, Jared Jackson Jr., and Miles Turner. Off the bench, we got Tyus Jones, Xavier Tillman, Luke Kennard, and Max Lewis. Taking a look at system proficiency, is anything better than 4 stars? No, it is not, so we're going to go ahead and stay with balance. And then taking a look at the shot tendencies for this team. Morant could go ahead and stay at a 99. Jared Jackson could stay at an 80. Desmond Bane can go down to like a 75. Miles Turner can definitely go up to like a 60. Tyus Jones could go up to like a 65. Xavier Tillman could go up to like a 55. He could go up to like a 55. Luke Kennard could definitely go up to like a 60. Brandon Clark can go up to like a 50. Jet Howard can go down to like a 70. And then Max Lewis can go ahead and go down to like a 70 as well. But yeah, so we didn't really make too many changes this year. We just went ahead and brought in 2 rookies. And then we also went ahead and brought in Miles Turner via trade. But I think that trade helps us out so much just because with Steven Adams, like I said, we weren't really spacing the floor as much because he can't really shoot. He can't hit a free throw. He can't create his own shot. He can't hit free throws. I think I already said free throws, but he can't shoot. So with Miles Turner, we are now able to space the floor. And this front court defense is going to be insane with Jared Jackson Jr. and Miles Turner both in the paint. So we are going to go ahead and simulate the first 3 games as we are playing the Miami Heat. As we do pick up the W, we pick up the W and we pick up another W to start off the year 3-0. We do beat the Miami Heat by 18 points. Ja with 29, Miles Turner with 29 and 10 with 5 blocks. Jared Jackson Jr. with 13, 7 and 2 blocks. Game number 2, we did win by 10 points. Ja Morant with 24, 9 and 6. Miles Turner with 21, 11 and another 5 blocks. And then the third game of the season, we did end up winning against the Bulls by 15 points. Desmond Bane with 38, Ja with 23, 10 and 10 triple-double. And then Jared Jackson Jr. with 16, 10, 6, 2, and 3 blocks. Where was Miles Turner's at? Miles Turner had 4 blocks, 6 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals. Okay. This is looking like a scary team, but let me not get ahead of myself because it is only 3 games. So we are going to go ahead and simulate, and I'm hoping we can maybe beat a 2nd or 3rd seed just because I feel like we did get a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and simulate, and I will catch you guys at the end of season number 1. Alright, so at the end of season number 1, JT winning MVP, Victor Wembanyama winning Rookie of the Year, Ben Simmons winning 6th man, Giannis winning Depoy, most improved is LaMelo Ball, and then JB Bickerstaff is Coach of the Year. Taking a look at the All-NBA teams, do we get somebody on here? We do get Ja on an All-NBA 3rd team, and we do not get anybody else. What about an All-Defensive team? Do we get both our players right here? No, we just get Jared Jackson Jr. And then taking a look at where we finished on the year. Oh, we ended up as the 6th seed. So we barely missed the play-in tournament, but we go 41 and 41. Maybe it wasn't a good idea trading away our starting small forward and not really getting anything back because we did have a rookie starting for us at the small forward position. So maybe that messed us up. Ja Morant with about 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 9.5 assists with over a steal and a half a night. Jared Jackson Jr. with about 18.5 and 8 rebounds with almost 3 blocks a night. Desmond Bain with about 18 points. How efficient was he? 50, 40, 90. You love to see it. Jet Howard with about 12.5 points as a rookie. 46% from the field and 39% from deep. So not too bad. Almost averaging a steal and a block a night as a rookie. How was his plus minus? I mean, his plus minus wasn't bad. So maybe that really wasn't a big reason, because I mean, that is pretty good. I'm pretty sure that's better than what Dillon Brooks would have shot for us. Miles Turner with about 12.5 points, 9 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 2 blocks a night. Tyus Jones with about 11 points and 6 assists off the bench. Luke Kennard with about 10, pretty efficient shooting, 46 and 45 from deep. Max Lewis with about 6.5 points. Not the best from 3. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I will definitely take that, 34% and then 47% from the field. Xavier Tillman with about 6.5 and 6 off the bench. Maybe, wait, I don't even think he could really shoot threes like that. He took 172. He took 172 threes with only a 63 pointer. Come on. I had to go ahead and change that. And then Brandon Clark didn't play for us. But yeah, so kind of disappointed in this team. And actually, let me go ahead and let me change that real quick, because I don't know why 2K has this man shooting threes when he can't even shoot. So let me go ahead and let me change that. But yeah, definitely didn't expect this team to go this bad. I kind of was expecting, like I said, a 50-win season, just because last season we did. And I kind of do feel like we did improve, because Jet Howard definitely played better than Dillon Brooks did. He was efficient. He shot the ball. He shot the ball well. He played defense. So definitely surprised that we didn't finish with about 50 wins. But we are taking on the Houston Rockets in the first round of the playoffs. Did they add anybody else? They brought back Christian Wood, and I believe that's about it. Cameron Whitmore they drafted. Okay, so not really a tough team. I don't really see this team being too difficult for us. So we are going to go ahead and adjust the minutes. So I do want Max Lewis getting like 10. Luke Kennard could say Luke Kennard could go down to like 15. Xavier Tillman could get one more. He could get like 2 more. Jet could say like that. He could get like 2 more, and then John Morant could get like 38. So taking on the Houston Rockets in round number 1. Do we get past the first round? Come on. We do not. We get swept, so we ended up doing worse. Come on, man. You can't do me like that. You can't do this team like that, 2K. You're going to tell me they do not win at least 1 game against this team? Okay, looks like we got some work to do in the offseason. I don't know. Maybe do I fire our coach? Do I fire Taylor Jenkins? Do I try to go after a new coach? You know what? I'm going to give him 1 more season. And if he doesn't get us past the first... Actually, if he doesn't get it past the second round, I think I'm going to go ahead and fire him for the final season in season number 3. As the Boston Celtics do win the NBA championship, as Jason Tatum is your finals MVP. But we definitely got some work to do, because we need to improve this roster. We got to get past the first round, definitely. Or right now, we got to win a game in the first round. So we definitely have some work to do. So got to go ahead and get to it. Alright, so with the 17th and 20 overall pick, we just went ahead and chose the best available players. Alright, so for the start of season number 2, this is what the rotation is looking like. We got John Morant, Desmond Bain, Jet Howard, Jared Jackson Jr., and Miles Turner. Off the bench, we got Tyus Jones, Brandon Clark, Luke Kennard, and Max Lewis. Taking a look at system proficiency for this team, is anything better than 4.5 stars? No, it is not, so we're going to go ahead and stay with that. And then taking a look at the shot tendencies, John Morant could stay at a 99. Jared Jackson could go up to like an 80. He could go up to like an 80. Desmond Bain could stay at a 75. Turner could go up to like a 60. Tyus Jones could go up to like a 65. Aldama won't be playing for us. Brandon Clark can go up to like a 55. Jet Howard could go up to like a 75. Luke Kennard could go up to like a 60. And then Max Lewis can go ahead and he could drop down a little bit to like a 72. But yeah, didn't really add much to this team. I kind of like where everything is at right now. I mean, a lot of people have good contracts. I didn't really see a point in trading for some players that I kind of wanted to trade for, like OG Anunoby. Kind of wanted to wait and see maybe if I could get like a Paul George in a sign and trade deal. But at the end, I just went ahead and decided to stay with this team, because I feel like this team is going to progress pretty good. So we are going to go and simulate the first 3 games of the season, as we do win, pick up a loss, and then we pick up a dub against the Bucks. So we do win by 3 points against the Hawks. Triple J with 20 and 8, Jet Howard with 19. Game number 2, we did lose. Baines with 27 and Jared Jackson Jr. with 18 and 7. And then we did pick up a W against the Milwaukee Bucks. John Morant with 22, 10, and 12. And Luke Kennard with 20 points off the bench. Jared Jackson Jr. with 18 and 10. So hoping this team does good. If I see for whatever reason this team isn't really doing too good by the trade deadline, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and make some moves, because we only have this year and next year to try to win a championship. But hopefully everything goes good. Hopefully people start to develop. So we are going to go and simulate, and I will catch you guys at the end of season number 1. All right, so things aren't looking too good for us. So I'm going to see if I could try to make this trade. We're giving up Dennis Schroeder, Aldama, John, and Max Lewis for Denny Adia and then a bunch of just filler players. And I will also go ahead and throw in a first round pick. Let's see if they accept this trade, and they do. So welcome to the team, Denny Adia. All right, so at the end of season number 2, JT winning back-to-back MVPs, Isaiah winning Rookie of the Year, Chet winning Sixth Man of the Year, Giannis winning Defense Player of the Year, Taylor Hendricks winning Most Improved, and then Steven Silas winning Coach of the Year. Taking a look at the All-NBA teams, do we get somebody on here? We do get John Morant once again on an All-NBA third team. An all-defensive team, we do get Jared Jackson Jr. and Miles Turner on all-defensive second team. Let's go. You love to see it. And then taking a look at where we finished on the year, we ended up going 43 and 39. I don't know what it is about these playoffs. I mean, about these rebuilds recently, where it just seems so hard to make the playoffs. Like, you could go ahead and throw together a pretty good team on paper, but then when you go ahead and simulate the season, it's just so hard. I don't know if the difficulty's up or something like that, but definitely not where I pictured this team. We are 43 and 39, like I said, 8th seed, and it's just not looking good for us. But we do have a pretty good team, and we are going to go ahead and take a look at the player stats. Ja with about 25 points, Jared Jackson with about 17 and a half, Bane with about 16, Miles Turner with about 13 and a half, Jet with about 13, Tyus Jones with about 11 and a half, Denny with about 11. He was our mid-season acquisition, and I mean, not really the best efficiency from the field, 34, not too bad, 80, but he is pretty much here for rebounding and defense. And then Luke Kennard with about 8 points, and then Brandon Clark with about 6 and 5. So we are taking on the Dallas Mavericks, and I am gonna go ahead and adjust the team real quick. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let 2K decide how they want to do this. So they'd rather have Jet Howard starting than coming off the bench, and then they want to have Denny Adia as the 6-man, Tyus Jones. Okay, you know what? We could go ahead and we could do something like this. So we're gonna roll with whatever 2K wants, and yeah, we are gonna go ahead and simulate the play-in tournament, and we do make it. So we are facing the Utah Jazz in the first round as the 7th seed. As a 7th seed. And they do have Jaylen Brown on the team. They also have Victor. Oh, this is a scary 3 through 5. So tall, 7-foot small forward, 7'4" power forward, and then a 7-foot center. They also have Jeremy Grant. Dylan Brooks is on this team as well. Okay. Oh, this team is looking tough. They also added Xavier Tillman, another Memphis Grizzly, former Grizzly player. Wow, Anthony Black is on this team. Mo Wagner, DJ Wagner. Yo, this is a scary Utah Jazz team, but watch us go ahead and knock this team off. I'm confident in this team as we do win the first game, but we do go ahead and fall to them in 6 games. Loki thought we had a shot right there. I was trying to use reverse psychology as we do win game number 1 by 1 point as John Morant dropped 31, 7, and 9. Game number 2, we did lose by 13, Ja with 25. Game number 3, we did end up winning by 15 points, Ja with 28, Tyus with 20. Game number 4, we lost barely by 2 points. Game number 5, we did end up losing by 13 points. And then game number 6, we did end up losing by 11 points. So pretty disappointing season so far from this Grizzlies team. And like I said, I drew up a pretty good team on paper. It looks pretty good with the defense that we had, with the efficiency, the shooters that we had, the scorers. And it's just not looking good for us so far. So I'm thinking we are going to have to go ahead and fire our coach as the Celtics go ahead and win back-to-back championships. Jason Tatum again with back-to-back finals MVPs. But it's looking like we're going to have to go ahead and we're going to have to change up our system. We're going to have to go ahead and maybe get a new coach, probably get some new bench players. And honestly, if I can, maybe try to make a big splash go out because I do have a lot of players under contract, a lot of rookies, a lot of players still on their rookie deals. So I might go ahead and try to package them for like a good shooting guard or a small forward. So we're going to have to go ahead and make some changes. So I'll go ahead and see you guys when I make those changes. All right, so we are going to go ahead and fire Taylor Jenkins. Now we are looking for a new coach. Maybe try to get Eric Spoelstra on this team. Tyronn Lue. You know, we'll go ahead and we'll go after Tyronn Lue. So we're going to offer him all the money we possibly can. And then we are going to also go ahead and offer Eric Spoelstra all the money that we can. Hoping one of them signs. They do not want to sign here. Okay, let's see who else I could offer. Alexander Reed, looking like a good coach. Jacob Underwood. Man, I really don't know. Nick Tate is looking like a pretty good coach, actually. So you know what? We could go ahead, and if I don't see anybody else, Is there any real coaches that I recognize right here? I'm not really seeing. I mean, Chauncey Billups, but I don't really want Chauncey Billups on this team. Chris Finch. You know what? We'll go ahead and we'll sign like Nick Tate for our coach. We're gonna go ahead and give him all the money we can, as they did reject our offers, but that's all good. And then we went ahead and just took the best player available with the 19th overall pick. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and trade Tyus Jones and our first round pick for Mitchell Robinson and a second round pick. And then we are gonna go ahead and trade Isaac and a first round pick for Jonas Valanciunas. Do they accept this trade? Yes, they do. All right, so for the final season here in Memphis, this is what the rotation is looking like. We got Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Denny Adia, Jared Jackson Jr., and Mitchell Robinson. Off the bench, we got Jet Howard, Luke Kennard, Tyrese Proctor, and Jonas Valanciunas. Taking a look at system proficiency with our new coach. Is anything better? Yeah, we do have balance at 4.5 stars. Is anything better than that? No, it is not. And then taking a look at these shot tendencies, I'm honestly not going to move like a lot of the shot tendencies. I think I'm going to go ahead. I wonder if maybe that's a big reason why we keep losing. Maybe because a lot of people keep shooting the ball when they're not supposed to. So we are going to go ahead and leave it like that. I'm just going to go ahead and get Jared Jackson up to like a 75. But everybody else on here, I mean, Mitchell Robinson can go up to like a 50. Why not? But everybody else on here is pretty much going to stay whatever they are right now. So we're going to go ahead and leave that alone. We just moved Jared Jackson Jr.'s. But yeah, for this final season, I'm hoping we could at least finish like as a top 3 seed with a 50+ win season. We have a pretty good team. Ja Morant's all the way up to like a 98. Jared Jackson Jr. is at like a 90 or 91, I believe. So hoping for a good season, because we really haven't had any for the first 2 seasons. So we are going to go and simulate the first 3 games, as we do start off 1-2, so not the best. Ja Morant with about 24 and 12, as we do lose by 5. Then we do lose to the Wizards by 10. Jet Howard with 26. And then for the third game of the season, we did win against the Timberwolves. Jared Jackson Jr. with 27 points, Ja with 23, and Mitchell Robinson with 21 and 14. So hoping we can go ahead and make some noise, because honestly, I feel like these rebuilds are getting harder and harder. I don't know if the difficulty's up or what, but hopefully we could go ahead and finish as a top 3 seed, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys at the end of season number 3. All right, so at the end of season number 3, Ja Morant wins MVP, averaging almost 30 points a night with about 6 rebounds and almost 10.5 assists, with over a steal a night, 54 from the field, 81% from the free throw line, and 39% from deep. Nazir Cunningham with Rookie of the Year, Markelle Fultz on the Lakers with 6th Man of the Year, Giannis with Defensive Player of the Year once again, and then Asor Thompson winning Most Improved Player. Taking a look at the All-NBA teams, Ja Morant obviously on All-NBA first team. Do we get anybody else? I doubt it. We do not. All-Defensive team, we do not get anybody either. I'm just kind of surprised. I thought we would have had somebody on here. But yeah, taking a look at where we finished, we ended up going 59 and 23. So we were good enough for the 2nd spot in the West, only behind the Oklahoma City Thunder with 61 wins. So not too bad. And honestly, I guess not touching the shot tendencies is honestly probably a big reason why I kept having losing seasons, because I feel like I try to get everybody involved when I really shouldn't be. It should be like 1 to 2 guys focusing on shooting the ball, or maybe just one guy in general, and then everybody else really doesn't have a high shot tendency. But yeah, so it looks like it did work, so maybe I should stop touching the shot tendencies more often. And then taking a look at the averages for this season, you guys already seen Ja Morant. Jared Jackson Jr. with about 16.5, 7 rebounds. Desmond Bane with about 16 points. Jet Howard with about 15.5 points. Love the way he developed for us. And for the 17th pick, that was a steal. Mitchell Robinson coming in his first year, 11.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, almost 2 blocks a night with over a steal a night. Denny Adia with about 11 points and 7 rebounds with 4.5 assists. Wasn't really the best efficient wise, but that is good because we do have his rebounding and defense. Tyrese with about 11 points. Luke Kennard with about 8.5. Was he still efficient? Yeah, definitely. Well, actually not really too much from the field, 41%, but 41% from deep. 98% from the free throw line. How many free throws did he miss? He only missed 3 free throws. Out of 157, he hit 154. That has to be a record, 98%. I think that's passing Jose Calderon, who has the highest free throw percentage in a single season. And then Jonas Valanciunas in limited minutes with about 16.5 minutes. He did average 7 and 6 rebounds off the bench. So pretty excited for this team. Now I'm hoping we could go ahead and make a strong playoff push to go ahead and close this video out. So Valanciunas can get like 12 minutes. Tyrese can go ahead and get like 15. Luke Kennard could stay at 18. He could stay at 28. We want to go ahead and give 2 more minutes here. We could go ahead and give like 2 more minutes here. And then do I play Ja Morant at 40? You know what? Why not? Hopefully, he is young. He is the MVP. So I'm hoping he can handle all these minutes. As we are going to go ahead and face the Minnesota Timberwolves in round number 1. They added Isaiah, Jakob Poeltl, Rudy Gobert is coming off the bench, Terrence Mann, Zaire Williams. I forgot. No, I didn't trade him there. I traded him to Indiana. But he's looking like he's having a pretty good season, averaging about 10 points, right? 10 points, close to 11, 50, 35%. Not too bad, actually. How many games did he play? Oh, he only played 27 games. That's why Royce O'Neal's on this team, DeLon Wright. So not really looking like a tough team. So I'm hoping we could get past the first round for the first time this video, as we do go up. And just like that, we do win in 5 games. Let's go. Take care of business. Don't mess around. We're trying to win a championship this video. Ja Morant with 39 points in game number 1, as we did win by 13 points. Game number 2, we did end up winning by 4. Ja Morant with 28. Game number 3, we did end up losing by 6 points, as Ja Morant had 30 and 12. Desmond Bane with 22. Game number 4, we did end up picking up the W. Ja with 40 points and 10 assists. What an MVP performance. And then game number 5, we did end up winning. Jet Howard with 25. Jerry Jackson Jr. with 22. And Ja and Bane with 20. Round number 2, we are facing the Denver Nuggets. Did they add anybody else? Isaac Okoro. They still have, they have Michael Porter Jr. coming off the bench. They have Cam Reddish. They have Jackson Hayes, Max Strus. Okay, so they got some players on here, some recognizable players on here. Not really too worried about this team, as we do go ahead and win in 5 once again. We are in the Western Conference Finals. Game number 1, we did end up winning. Desmond Bane with 34 and Ja with 31. Game number 2, we did end up losing. Bane with 19, Tyrese with 18. Game number 3, we did end up winning by 3 points. Ja with 23, Desmond Bane with 22. Game number 4, we ended up blowing them out by 21. Ja with 16, Desmond Bane with 16, 15, 15, 15, 15, and 15. 5 players scored 15 points. Pretty much everybody scored. All the players, our key players, did score. And then game number 5, we did end up blowing them out, as Ja with 29, Mitchell Robinson with 21, and then Bane with 20. So we are now facing the 1-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. Definitely a tough team to go up against. I mean, look at all these players. They just have so many young players who develop so good. Who else is on? Brandon Clark is on this team. Oh, that is right. We did trade him to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not really playing, it looks like. Xavier Booker's on this team. So definitely a hard team. So I am really nervous. So I am going to go ahead and close my eyes. I'm going to open them in 3 seconds. Hopefully we made it to the finals. So I'm going to open my eyes in 3, 2, 1. As we are in the finals, let's go. Ja Morant is your Western Conference Finals MVP. As we did win in 5 games against the Oklahoma City Thunder. We are in the NBA Finals. Game number 1, we did end up picking up the W. Jet Howard with 28, Ja Morant with 22 and 13. Game number 2, we blew them out by 25, Ja with 27. Game number 3, we ended up winning by 4 points, Ja with 37. Game number 4, we did end up losing. And then game number 5, we did end up picking up the W by 28 points. Jerry Jackson Jr. with 27 and 18. Ja Morant with 28 and 15. We are now facing the Atlanta Hawks, who are the 2nd seed. And I know 2K loves the Hawks in the simulation, as they kind of added some new players. Naz Reid is on this team. Nurkic is on this team. Lou Dort is on this team. Jose Alvarado. Oh, they got a lot of defense on this team. So I'm hoping we don't lose. So we are going to go ahead and simulate game number 1, as we do win by a blowout, as Ja Morant dropped 33 points. Game number 2, come on. There we go. We blew them out by over 50. Oh my God, how much is that? That's 16, that's 65. We just blew them out by 71 points. 71 points. I think that's the largest margin I've ever seen on 2K. 71 points. We almost beat them by as many points as they scored. Damn, I ain't never seen that before in 2K. Game number 3, we do end up winning by 30 points. Ja Morant with 29, Jet Howard with 25. And then game number 4, it's all good. I wanted to win in front of the Memphis crowd. Anyways, as we did lose this one. Game number 5, come on. Championship. There we go. The Memphis Grizzlies have won the championship. Ja Morant is your finals MVP, averaging about 30 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 10.5 assists with about 2 steals a night, 56% from the field and 39% from deep. He did finish the year a 98 overall, and we have finally won an NBA champion. We brought a championship to Memphis, but definitely a fun rebuild. Didn't really look too good in the first 2 years that we did this. The third year, I guess just because we did add, Mitchell Robinson, pretty much like Miles Turner. Maybe he could get up a little bit more like defense wise, and doesn't really need the ball and doesn't really need to shoot. He wasn't really a shooter for us. He couldn't stretch the floor. But I think a lot of it had to do with players just developing, giving them enough time to develop. We did add some defense to this team. Danny Adia really isn't a scorer, really isn't a shooter, but definitely stepped it up with his defense. And 7 rebounds a night, not too bad. Ja Morant did develop pretty good as he did win an MVP, and then Jared Jackson Jr. was definitely good defensively as he did finish as a 90 overall. And then we did have a lot of shooters on this team. Luke Kennard, Jet Howard developed really good. But yeah, definitely a fun rebuild. And like I said, Memphis just pretty much needs to add some veterans to the team. We didn't really have too many veterans on this team just because in 2K, like if you add a veteran that's like 33 years old, you sign them at like a 78 overall, they're gonna drop down to like a 74. I wish 2K would do something about that, just because like a year passes doesn't mean like if I sign DeMarcus Cousins, he's not gonna be a 78 and then drop all the way down to like a 74. Kind of hope 2K fixes that for the next 2K, but probably not. But I would like to see Memphis add a couple of veterans, even if they don't play, even if they have like a Udonis Haslem role where they don't really play, they just coach. I would like to see that because Memphis definitely needs some veterans, definitely needs some people up in there to help them. But this was definitely a fun rebuild. So if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go and drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure to follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch y'all next time. Stay safe. Peace.